I remember the first time I saw this week's Torah portion. It was an incredible moment because I'd always known these stories and I'd heard different traditions from the way a Torah itself is written, but I'd never put it together in its context. This week's parsha is called Nitzavim. It means situated, usually translated as standing. Moses has been saying goodbye for an entire book. He knows that his life is about to end. He knows that we are on the brink of entering into the promised land, and he'd better get this right. He'd better speak his truths to the community that he knows will need guidance, love, memory, to remember all the things that they had been through, that he's been reminding them. But now at this point, it's theirs to hold on to. And new leaders will arrive, and they will wield the same kind of authority and hopefully bear the same kind of loving message. The power of what Moses offers in this moment is beyond the moment. That's actually the core of this. Because the opening of the Parsha says, I make this covenant, says God through Moses, not just with you. It's not about you, not about me, it's not about you. I make this covenant now with you, those who are standing right here, and you, those who will one day stand here. What a gift it is to have the consciousness as a group, as a community, and as a leader, to know that these messages are always beyond the self. They aren't about who the leader is, and they actually aren't about this generation of community. Because, as Dan Hotchkiss, who's a Unitarian minister, a consultant for other faith communities, has said, the most important constituency of any place of worship or any organization is those who have not yet joined. They don't get a vote, but they're going to far, far outnumber the number of people who connect to the community today. How can we bear them in mind, obligate them to the values that motivate us and define us? Well, Moses is trying to dance this dance. And as he speaks in ways that are urgent and a little bit ominous, maybe even inviting, because there is love pervading his urgency, there is also this thing that he says. Toward the end of chapter 29 of the book of Deuteronomy, the Hebrew says, Hanistarot ladonai Eloheinu v'aniglot lanu luvanenu ad olam la'asot et kol divrei haTorah hazot. Translation that many of us have is concealed acts concern Adonai our God, but with revealed acts, it is for us and our children to apply all the provisions of this Torah, all the teachings. What's amazing about that is the way that it's written in the Torah. Not only is it clear that we need to pay close attention to the Torah and that we need to pass that on to the next generation, what is very interesting when you look at the Torah itself, there's a way that this verse must be written. In fact, it's very strange and it happens very few places. There are dots above some of the letters. So the sentence says, and now I'll just translate it freestyle, hidden things are God's, Adonai are God's. But revealed things are for us and for our children forever. And the dots appear over the words for us and for our children. We don't know why there are dots. Scholars and mystics have wondered for a very long time. In fact, the dots need to be written in the Torah scroll itself. But if those dots appeared anywhere else in the Torah, they would make the Torah unfit for use. In this place, without the dots, the Torah would be unfit for use, which means we must have those dots. There's something strange about the words that need to be notated in such a way. So the dots over the words lanu ulvanenu, for us and for our children, suggest to some that those words should be erased from the scroll. But out of reverence for the holiness of the scroll, we don't take them out. What would be the meaning if we did take them out? The sentence would now read, hidden things are Adonai our God's, and the revealed, forever, and it is upon us to do the mitzvot, to do the commandments. That's actually not what the sentence says. If we read the sentence in a changed way, it would mean that everything is God's, the hidden and the revealed. But with those words with the dots, and maybe the dots are there to draw us even closer to the meaning of the words before us. It means, yes, there are things that are hidden. Those are God's. But the revealed things, which means the truths we know, the truths we uncover, the things we are dedicated toward bringing to the light in this world, those actually are lanu ulvanenu. Those are for us and for our children. When we pursue truths that could guide life, the ones that Moses dedicated his entire life to, even if, as Moses had to experience, he wasn't going to be around to see them fulfilled ultimately. The land of the promise was always going to be a little bit out of his reach. but his legacy to his community, way beyond his time, and hopefully, and apparently, way beyond that generation's life too. The big gift is there are things we know. There are things that are revealed that we have a hand in revealing. And what happens when we reveal them? It means now it's on us. You know something is true. It is on you to affect that truth and to bring it closer to the light, to bring those around you closer to the love and truth that they would then pursue. Not everything is God's, is the radical suggestion of the Torah. Hidden things might be, but the revealed things, they're our responsibility. What will you do with the truths that you know? How will you help people with what you've discovered? What will you do to bring the whole world a little bit closer to light? Well, perhaps it means that you and your children need to keep in mind that there will be other children, maybe even, if you're lucky and blessed, your children's children and their children after them. It is always bigger than you. It is always bigger than your community. It is always bigger than what you know today, because your descendants will know much more, and hopefully, if we are blessed and if we are lucky, our descendants will look back and have gratitude for the choices we made today.